When the doctor said, "You have 3 months left," I didn't cry. Even when my husband started discussing funeral arrangements, which songs to play, where to bury me, what photo to use on the memorial, not a single tear fell from my eyes. But when my sister walked into the room and said, "I need to tell you something," I smiled for the first time, because I had been waiting for that moment. For 30 years, the room was white, so white it felt like every color had abandoned me. The smell of disinfectant mixed with the faint scent of dying flowers. The sound of machines echoed like a steady, artificial heartbeat, the rhythm of a borrowed life. Every morning, the nurse opened the curtains the same way. Her voice was gentle, but hollow, rehearsed. "Good morning. How are you today?" And every morning, I gave her the same answer. "I'm not dead yet." She would smile politely, pretending not to hear the bitterness in my voice. But inside me, something darker was growing. A whisper I had silenced for years. A whisper that said, "It's time." Awale. My sister. The only person who looked like me, but was never like me. My hair was always a mess. Hers was perfect. I was the storm. She was the calm. I trusted no one. She trusted everyone. And somehow people always trusted her back. But that day, her face was different. Her hands were trembling. Her lipstick was faded. And her eyes, red, swollen. I could smell something I hadn't felt in years. Guilt. She walked closer, hesitated, and sat down in the chair beside my bed. The air between us felt heavy, like the room itself was holding its breath. "I need to tell you something," she said. "About the past." I smiled weakly. "The past? Which part, Ayla? Our childhood? Or that night you thought I'd forgotten?" She flinched. I saw her throat tighten, her fingers twist around each other. Then she said quietly, "Please, just listen. Don't get angry. I was there that night." Those 6 words shattered 30 years of silence. 30 years ago, I was 19. A house too small. A family too broken. Father, always drunk. Mother, always pretending everything was fine. And Ayla, my little sister, hiding behind her school books, pretending not to see the fights. We used to dream of leaving that town. Running away, buying a small apartment near the sea. We even picked names for our imaginary cats. She called hers Luna. Mine was Ash. Funny, isn't it? How you can build a world out of lies to survive the truth. That night, the sky was black. No stars, no moon, just the sound of rain hitting the window. I was in my room studying. Then I heard it. My mother's scream, the kind of scream that freezes your soul. I ran into the kitchen, and everything blurred. Father was shouting. Mother was crying. A bottle shattered. Blood hit the tiles like spilled paint. I remember the sound before I remember the sight. The dull, wet thud. Then, silence. When I looked down, my hands were red. Mother wasn't breathing. And Father just stared at me. For a second, I thought time had stopped. Then the sirens came. The police arrived. I was still shaking. Couldn't even speak. And then Ayla pointed at me. Tears streaming down her face. Her voice small but clear. "I saw it," she said. "My sister did it." That was all it took. They grabbed me, dragged me out. I remember the sound of my mother's body being covered. The smell of alcohol, blood, rain. The metallic click of handcuffs on my wrists. At 19, I had become a murder suspect. The nights in the holding cell were the longest. Fluorescent lights that never went off. Voices echoing down the hallway. And that one sentence, "You did it," repeating in my head like a curse. I kept telling them I didn't, that I was trying to protect her. But no one listened. They believed Ayla because Ayla was innocent. Because Ayla was the sweet little sister everyone adored. I was acquitted for lack of evidence. But it didn't matter. Everyone in town had already decided. She did it. And Ayla? She went on living, smiling, studying, an angel in everyone's eyes. We never spoke again. Years passed. I moved away. got married, had children, but every birthday, every silent night, I heard that scream again. And every morning, when I looked in the mirror, I whispered, I can't die without telling the truth. But the truth isn't always something you tell. Sometimes, it finds you. 30 years later, it found me, on a hospital bed, with tubes in my arms and a countdown on the calendar. When Ayla came to see me that day, she didn't bring flowers. She brought the past. I did it. At first, I thought I had misheard her. But she said it again, louder this time. I did it. She took a deep breath, tears dripping onto her hands. When father came at you, you were holding mother back. She was trying to protect you. But I was so scared. He was going to hit me too. I grabbed the bottle, and her voice broke. I didn't see that she was standing behind him. Time stopped. Even the heart monitor paused, as if the universe was holding its breath. 30 years. 30 years of guilt, pain, nightmares. And now the truth. I looked at her. Really looked at her. Her face was pale, her eyes wild with regret. All those years, I had carried her sin as my own. And now, it was finally hers again. I didn't cry. Because in that moment, what we needed wasn't tears, it was silence. The kind of silence that heals or destroys. Why now? I asked softly. Why confess this? Because I'm dying, isn't it? She nodded, unable to look me in the eyes. I couldn't carry it anymore, she whispered. I smiled. I've been waiting 30 years to hear that. That night, for the first time in decades, I slept without dreams. Or maybe I did dream, but it wasn't a nightmare. I saw my mother in the kitchen, holding a cup of tea, smiling at me. You're free now, she said. The truth has finally found you. When I woke up, the morning light felt different. Warm, soft, like forgiveness. Since that day, Ayla visits often. Sometimes we talk. Sometimes we just sit in silence. But every time she leaves, I see her shoulders lighter, and mine too. Forgiveness is strange. It doesn't erase the past. It just makes the weight bearable. Now, death has never felt closer. But I'm not afraid, because I am no longer just a patient. Not just a woman. Not just a sister, or a victim, or a survivor. I'm the truth itself. And if anyone ever asks me, what did you feel before you died? I'll say this. The peace that comes when justice, even late, finally arrives. Then I'll smile. Just like I did that day when my sister said, I need to tell you something. Because for 30 years, I'd been waiting for that moment.